Welcome back to the Hockey Show, and today we are going to be talking about the news around the NHL that you should know about so you don't seem like an idiot around everyone and you are smarter than them, better than them, and know your hockey, because that is what we do in this competitive world, right? There you go. But if you want to stay up to date on everything, you should subscribe, like this video, and comment that you did all that, and I will like you in return. Anyways, let's talk about the news and updates around the league. So first up, the Washington Capitals with the big breaking news this morning. I woke up and saw all over Instagram that they have signed John Leonard to his entry-level contract, and what a big boost to the lineup this is going to be for the Caps. Like 30 goals, 49 points, and I think 37 games played with Boston College. Of course, they just lost yesterday in the NCAA playoffs, and this, I guess they could have waited a little bit longer because he still could have made it to the playoffs, but this is a huge boost for the Caps. They're not like the next team we're going to talk about in a second, but like this guy getting some reps in the NHL before, like, so what if he wins the NCAA playoffs, right? Who cares? Like, that's not going to do anything. He's already earned a spot on a team. They lose. He gets to go up, and he's going to get some nice NHL minutes in this final, 9-8 game stretch that the Capitals have as Ovechkin is running up the offense. The team's going to be buzzing the whole way. The crowd is buzzing. Everything in Washington when that siren starts going off when Ovechkin scores a goal, or Protas, or any one of those all those goal scorers on the team go. And he is joining this lineup. Another guy that can just demolish other guys into the boards. A guy who can fight and check hard. He gets in the corners hard. He gets to the front. He has skill. He's got the shot. He's got the tenacity. He's a playoff kind of guy that you want for the NHL. And for the Capitals to kind of go on this true final run with this current squad. I know this isn't Ovechkin's last season, neither is this Carlson's, but their tenure's coming to an end. To add this guy to the lineup to what is going to be a opportunity that no one saw coming this playoffs to win a Stanley Cup one more time for Ovechkin, this is a huge signing. This is a guy that I think he's not, and anyone who thinks he's going to join and become their best point scorer or anything like that's absurd, right? But this guy I could definitely see getting a good 6 points in the last handful of games. And in the playoffs, to add down this already stacked offensive team of the Capitals, to add him into the third line, maybe even the second line, and add him in there to just demolish people, put him, when you have Wilson, you have Ovechkin who already can hit people, but Leonard, they've added a true talent to this team, a talent that has almost all the tools, and there's going to get some minutes in the NHL, a lot of good games to finish out this stretch, and I really like this. This is big news, and I'm really excited to see it. He's going to play his first game tomorrow night against the Boston Bruins, so make sure you tune in and see that game. Next up, his buddy, Gabriel Perreault, signs with the New York Rangers. Of course, the guy that no one saw dropping to 23rd overall in the 2023 draft. The Rangers getting a huge steal. No one wanted to pick him up, but they did, but he's had a fantastic year ever since then. Even had a fantastic year when he got drafted. I don't have no idea. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those cases like Shane Wright where maybe he's not really going to pan out the way people he's going to be good in juniors, good in whatever, not really turn out that well. But comparing to John Leonard, where the world is blowing up about getting signed, Gabriel Perreault was performed just as good. 48 points for Boston College this season. He's also another, he's definitely more of a dynamo, true offensive player where, Leonard's kind of got, that power forward type presence. Perreault is that skilled playmaker kind of player. 48 points this year. He's also a big boost to a lineup like the Rangers that need to get that final push into the playoffs, which, let's get our wild card update. In the Western Conference, the Wild play up against the Blues, currently tied 87 points each, and it looks like in the West, things are going to be all settled up there. Vancouver's the next best team up in there, 81 points, so they're 6 points behind them. Of course, with I think they have about 9 games left. They can make that up, but the Blues have been on such a hot streak. The Wild are also playing their heart out to get into that, stay in the playoffs too. To me, Vancouver's they're in the shitter right now, and no other team also in the West feels like they can really bounce back. So the West looks pretty solidified, but the East, just like every fucking year, it is just clogged up who is going to make the playoffs in that wild card spot. The Senators look like they have the best odds of just keeping their spot, 84 points right now. Below them is 77 and so on. I think they're going to make it in no matter what. Senators will probably be the first wild card spot and will play the Maple Leafs, which interesting matchup that'll be. But so Senators, I think, are solid. But right now, tied up 77 points are the Canadiens and the New York Rangers. Perreault added to the Rangers if he can have a hot couple of nights, which that's the kind of guy he is. And I don't even know if the Rangers issue, I have no idea what to call it. Like they just are a shamble garbage team. Like I don't know. Like their issue is just everything. Their offense, but isn't the issue, you know. So Perreault is a good bolster to the team, but this team structure, it's team defense. Shesterkin is cracked from carrying this team. I don't know. I don't know about the Rangers' odds, and I kind of hope they don't make it in, and they get punished for this season. Things change because if they make it in, they'll make one change. They'll be like, oh, they changed stuff. But if they miss the playoffs this year, they'll fire their GM, fire the coach, fire whoever they need to, get rid of Kreider, get rid of Zibanejad. I want to see some explosions. Okay, I don't want to see just like, oh, we let go of the coach, things are gonna change. Then nothing changes, and then they squeak into the playoffs next year, and it's boring. I want some good news some content to cover for this channel. So the Rangers, 77 points. I hope they lose out to, the Canadiens would be okay, but Columbus would be the coolest. 75 points right now. They're only 2 points behind, so they're basically right up there with them. 1 win difference, and Columbus, they're not finishing out very strong, but for Johnny Hockey, for Columbus itself, they're also just such a fun team to watch in the playoffs. And I know they're a completely different team from the last time they were in upsetting the Lightning, but I think Columbus deserves that one-time chance. Not just some preachy, oh, I do it for Johnny, but they're so close, and they've definitely don't deserve to be this close to a playoff spot. But because of that emotional fight, I hope that it's not all dashed for nothing, right? Because they're not going to win the Stanley Cup. They probably won't even win a first round at all, especially if they play the Capitals, maybe the Maple Leafs, but the Capitals definitely not. So to me, it's Columbus, I hope they pull through, but it's not going to be for anything anyways. And then Detroit and New York, the Islanders, tied at 74 points. I hope the Red Wings don't make it. I really don't, and I don't like the Islanders either, so let's just hope they don't make it in at all. But let's talk about who did make it in, which is the Dallas Stars. They're the third team that clinched the playoffs, along with the Winnipeg Jets, who are right in front of them in the Central Division, and the Washington Capitals, who are up there. And the Stars, it's funny, because you look at the 3 teams that have clinched, okay? The Stars, the Capitals, and the Jets. Jets are going to win the President's Trophy. Capitals are here. Stars probably finished third, but doesn't really matter where. But the funny thing about this little pool right here, which I know I'm not even going to edit in pictures, but this pool right here, only one of them has a true chance of winning the Stanley Cup. And maybe the Capitals too, but it is not the Jets. The Jets, the first team clinched, they're going to win the President's Trophy. They're not winning the Stanley Cup. They're going to get bounced in the first round to that team. So, yeah, because I think the Blues are going to pass the Wild. So, yeah, they're going to play the Wild and lose. And the Stars are in. That's the news. I think it's pretty interesting. They're probably going to play the Colorado Avalanche, who, in response to all these big signings, have decided to get their own giant pickup. And that is, of course, their 220th overall pick, Taylor Makar, Cale's brother, which, what the hell were the parents thinking? Oh, yeah, we're going to name our first son Cale, and then we're going to name our other son a normal name. Kind of messed up, Mom. But Taylor Makar signed 30 points with Maine. Yeah, he's not going to do anything unless, no. That's a nothing signing. It's, he'll never play in the NHL. Maybe one game just so that he get the publicity. But that's it. Nothing's going to happen. He played for Maine. They just lost in the NCAA playoffs, too. So, yeah. I mean, it's better than me, I guess, but whatever. So, yeah. But speaking of people who won't be seeing any sort of winning in the NHL, is the Seattle Kraken to finish off our news. They're the 4th team eliminated in the NHL from the playoff. And, yeah, they joined the Sharks, Blackhawks, and the Nashville Predators. And, yeah, they're out. And now what? I don't know. The Kraken had their year 2 years ago, and it was a fun one. Great playoffs, great series, fun to watch. Great jerseys, great city. Love Seattle. Literally love Seattle. Top 3 favorite place in the world. But, Yeah, I don't know. They just got. I mean, they got a lot of young guys. But their veterans like aren't amazing enough to like raise them up anywhere. Kind of weird that they're signing like Stevenson and Montour to pretty long contracts that are gonna really hurt them in the long run. I think. I don't really like where Seattle's going. I thought I like on one hand it's like they're collecting Shane Wright and they have Matty Beniers and they give they just keep adding some good solid like talented like draft picks, but none of them have really turned over in the NHL, especially like Shane Wright and Beniers is good, but he's definitely not like any sort of like number one franchise like centerman. So Kraken, I don't really know where they're gonna go. Feels like the type of team where it's like it's gonna take like a decade for them to kind of figure, not like from here until then, but like since their beginning, it's gonna take like 10 years to kind of finally mold a team, and that kind of sucks because I really like the Kraken, like really like a lot. So yeah, but that is the news around the NHL that you should know about. I hope you watched this video all the way through. I hope you like this video all the way through, and I hope you subscribe to this video from the very beginning and you keep watching the other ones because that'll make me very happy. So thank you for watching this, and until next time, too sweet, I hope you have a fantastic day, and ta-ta for now.